Hey folks, another video. This one's on prayer. Surrendering yourself to Spirit. What does that even mean? If you already know, that's fine. I'd like to maybe speak to the people who that whole sentiment turns off, or they don't understand it. Most 12-step programs start with that idea, that invitation: surrender yourself to Spirit. And then you carry on with the other 11 steps. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit something about that. So if you even look at an elementary level of your existence, like say the bacteria in your gut, millions of bacteria in your gut, it's keeping you alive, digesting your food. And so really, if you're saying, I'm going to the store, what do you mean? It's we. Everything's a we. No matter what you're doing, it's a we. And so, and then again, the air you're breathing and the food you're eating and the people in your life that are helping you to meet your needs and to live your life, it is another indication of this we. And so when you say, I want something, it's you're not doing it just for yourself. Ideally you're doing it for your community and for your family and for the planet and for something bigger. And so what does that mean, right? And so everything is constantly sort of unifying to create each moment, whatever it may be, right? So the future and the past sort of unifying is the present. And all the elements coming together help you create each moment, your life and plants and existence. And so there's two types of prayer. There's thousands of types of prayer, but to divide them up, I like to think of it as asking for help or giving thanks. And so the surrendering yourself to Spirit sort of fits somewhere in there too, in the middle. So you can be grateful for your air, grateful for your life, for your friends, your family. And the idea is to be grateful for the unity of all of these things, the unity of all your allies, let's call them, everything that's responsible for your life on this planet. And so what is this? What is this unification? What would one call it? And so that's where I believe, it can get a little semantical, where some people getting caught up on what you call that, the mystery, the unknown sort of why we and how we were created and what keeps everything going, and when particles disappear, atoms disappear, where are they going, and then they're back, and so there's all this mystery. And so the idea with praying is that you are aligning with this mystery, with the bigger picture beyond yourself. And so if you're asking for help, or who are you asking? And so some people ask Jesus, some people ask God, and some people ask Buddha, and some people ask the universe, some people pray to the light. And so whatever it is that you choose for yourself, the wording you would like to use, or the imagery, works for me whenever, I think about this stuff. I like to keep it open, and to be honest, I sort of am ever evolving with how I pray and how I think about the bigger picture. I haven't found the God yet, if you will, and I'm okay with that. I don't mind it changing. That being said, I do believe that there is this greater force that wishes us well, that the unification of life on this planet especially, it has an entity on itself that loves, I believe, that wants to thrive, that wants us to thrive, that wants to live and create. And so nature is a good one. It's easy for those things I just said to relate that to nature, And so the surrendering to Spirit, right? What's going on there? So for me, you're not taking credit for when things go bad. It's a bigger picture. There's more going on than your whims and your ego. and your plans for events and things. And so when it goes wrong, you can try to recap and look at what mistakes you made, so that the next time maybe it won't be as bad. But sometimes just stuff happens, and there's nothing you can do about it. And as well as when things go right, it's not just you that's doing that. I believe that there is this sort of this grid, this unification of life that is helping each other and itself to evolve and to become more harmonious and peaceful. And you could think that's far-fetched, but it's something I'm working with. And again, I'm always sort of switching up how I see this whole thing. But the suggestion here is, if you're not already doing it, it's a really powerful practice, and it would really strengthen your faith to sort of put your will to the side for a moment and pray for the higher good of, dare I say, your community, of the planet, of your ancestors, of if it's God you're praying to. Then you suggest, hey, you put your will upon me, and I will just be my natural self and surrender to each moment as I can. And so that when the bad stuff happens, I give that to spirit, give that back to nature. And when the good stuff happens, again, I don't hang on to that either. Look at that, what a gift that is. And challenging stuff happens, what a gift too. You just keep passing these events and not owning them and not seeing them as, solidifying them as part of who you are. So I like looking at it that way, and I love hearing musicians talk about how God plays through me, man. I just open up to the Lord and let it rip. That's romantic. People believe them. And it's easier to hear them say that. And so what are they talking about? And so I'm inviting people with this video, if you're not already, really look at that idea of opening yourself up to the greater good of the planet, of God, of spirit, however you look at the unification, and to the mystery, whatever language you use, and not be so sort of self-focused with your direction and with your plan, with your life. I believe it's more about do what you want to do, for sure, live your dreams and your passions, but don't be so stuck on every detail of what it looks like. Make the plan, make the steps, and then just sort of surrender to each moment how it looks. Because it always looks different. You make your plan, and then it doesn't end up being how you plan. So it happens anyway. So why not, instead of taking it personally either way, just sort of go more with the flow and be grateful for this unification that's constantly happening to create everything. So anyway, there it is. And to pray, for me, I like, when I pray, I like to give thanks. I like to literally look around at the air and say thank you. Look at the ground and say thank you, and the trees, and an animal that goes by. And I think of my friends and my family, and I'm grateful for them. And then I depending on how I'm feeling that day, I look at the unification of life and of spirit, and I think of my ancestors, and I thank them for, creating my life. And so, and then with my intention these days, what I'm actually saying is, I surrender my will to spirit, to my ancestors. So let their will be mine, and then while I'm living my life, I'm be who I am, my natural self. With I'm kind of silly and creative, and I like to do all these things. So I'm not a robot, and I'm not just a zombie to the whim of who knows who I'm praying to. But I am actually free of the shackles of my own will. Is the idea, because I'm no longer I'm not in charge of what's happening. Anyway, that one was pretty long. So I hope you're all well. Peace be with you.